This is Ganpuru Gunman's Proof. It is a game for the Super Famicom that was never released in North America. It was developed by Lenar, who also developed Deadly Towers, which is, I think, a game that people don't really like a lot. I can't remember a lot about Deadly Towers. I remember it. I don't feel like it was very good. Maybe some people do like it and they're gonna yell at me in the comments, but you know, it is what it is. But this game is actually kind of interesting. It was released, as you can see, in 1997, which was the same year as Final Fantasy VII. So I think it was released on the same day as Final Fantasy VII, so it's kind of an interesting contrast, right? So yeah, but here it is. It is. This game is a lot like Legend of Zelda, and I know for a lot of people that's going to be a pretty big plus. But yeah, it's a lot like Zelda, except you have a gun. So I guess that makes it a little bit different, right? But it kind of plays a lot like Zelda does, in that it's open worlds. So here's the map. You go from dungeon to dungeon. You beat each dungeon's boss. You get items from going through those dungeons. You get skills, and that's kind of just how the game plays out. It has a little bit of a story, but it's not like anything particularly revolutionary, even though it did come out in the same day as Final Fantasy VII. I guess it doesn't share the massive crazy storyline, nor does it share the 3D or crazy sort of graphics that, for the time, at least, Final Fantasy VII had. But there's something about this game that's just, and maybe it's because it's kind of like Zelda, it does a lot of things right. And I think it deserves at least a little bit of recognition for that. So here, you can talk to all the different townspeople. It's kind of similar to, Kakariko Village, whatever you want to call it, where you go to this, it's kind of the hub area, I guess. And yeah, so I guess let me go show off some of the actual gameplay. I shot a couple things, but there's more to it than just that. So one of the things that this game does that's kind of interesting is when you kill these guys, they drop things. So that guy just dropped some money, I think, but hopefully I don't get super unlucky and this takes like forever, but they drop other things which are very useful. So I'm kind of just walking to a dungeon that I'm gonna show off, but on the way there I'm gonna want to kill some of these things to try to get one of the drops. And this is the carrot that drops. And when you get the carrot, it gives you this horse, which you only get after a certain point of the game, but you can run around on the horse and he will trample everybody. Just one-shots any enemy that you run into. So it's kind of cool having like a vehicle sort of thing going on in an old school Zelda type game. So yeah, there's just a bunch of different drops that are really cool and adds a different layer to the game. Kind of interesting that this game, I think it was one of the last games that came out for Super Famicom. And it's not well known at all in the US, and for obvious reasons it didn't come out in the US, right? So there's not going to be a lot of people that know about it. I'm not sure how well it did in Japan, but I think Lanar went out of business that year, or at least they didn't develop anything after. So at least from what I saw, I guess I could be wrong, but when I was looking around, I didn't see anything else from Lanar, and it's kind of a shame because, you know, they went from Deadly Towers to this, and I think this at least deserves some recognition. Then again, it came out really late into the cycle of Super Famicom. We're just gonna go in the dungeon. I kind of want to get stabbed here real quick. It has a system of 1-ups. I might have just game overed there, but that's fine too. So yeah, there is a game over system. We do know that. I'll just run all the way back there. I'll kind of skip to that point, so you don't have to go through that again. Okay, here I'm back in the dungeon at full health. Hopefully I don't die super quick like a scrub, but you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, it's, I guess you could say it's a Zelda clone. I don't know if that's really fair. It does a lot of things different. Like, you're playing this game at range the whole time, so that's pretty different just by itself. You can also, so let me see if I can get one of these guys to throw a thing at me. You can dodge it by falling over and crawling. So this guy could just like never kill me, basically, as long as I'm doing that. But you have to be quick, right? So it does take a level of skill to dodge using that. I'd like to show off some of the other things. Oh god, okay. I'm gonna get absolutely blasted here. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to show off one of the other things, but I haven't gotten very lucky with the drops so far. So, I mean, I might skip to that at some point, depending. But I just kind of want to show off one of the dungeons here too. So as you go throughout the dungeons, you'll find these chests, and you'll get rewards. You'll get either, oh wow, I just got brutalized. But yeah, there you see, you have 1-ups actually, which is different. Holy, getting absolutely destroyed. I guess I was just in a bad spot. It's not easy. It's definitely living up to that Nintendo hard that I had back in the day, anyway. So I think I'll be fine now going through this dungeon. Maybe. Got some drops. Oh, here we go. This is what I was trying to show off. Alright, so one of the drops that you can get is this weapon, and it's a machine gun. So, oh, now I'm getting them every second. That's fairly typical. Let me just, there we go. Kind of have to run through this, but yeah, you can blast people with this machine gun, which is pretty cool. Some of the other weapons, I think there's like a shotgun, there's like a bazooka or something like that. that I think I've seen. Oh, this is... So yeah, as you go through the game, there's like a bunch of different things in it that that are a lot of fun to play around with. It's I don't know, there's a lot of indie games that kind of emulate this retro style, right? But if you go back to the roots of the Super Famicom, it's already there. You can already play these games if you want to. You just have to, I guess you have to be able to find it. If you can't find it, then you'll never know that it exists. But this is one of those games that's actually really fun. It's just genuinely a fun game. And it's worth checking out, in my opinion. I think you do a lot worse than this. There's plenty of games nowadays that I've played that are not as fun as this. Even with all the best, the biggest development budgets and all this stuff, and they're just not fun. They're not fun, right? So here's another weapon that I found. It's a shotgun. So it has the spread shot, a little bit different. I think you can maybe take out these bats a bit easier using that. I guess the best way is just run through. But yeah, this is Ganpuru Gunman's Proof. It's a really cool game. If you have the ability, check it out. Find a way to play it, because I'm pretty sure Lenar is a dead company at this point. I think they died because of this game, which is kind of funny that I'm recommending it when it may have killed the company that made it. But hey, you know, it is what it is. It's fun. Check it out. Give it a look. There's plenty of games out there that, you know, that aren't showcased enough, and I think this is one of them.